McDonald's sells millions of burgers every single day. It is one of the most recognized brands on the planet. And yet, if you look closely at how it actually makes its money, you find something strange. Burgers are almost a side hustle. The real business is hiding in plain sight. On the surface, the story is simple. McDonald's is a fast food company. It sells cheap, consistent food incredibly fast in more than 100 countries. Make a burger for a little, sell it for a bit more, do that billions of times, and the small margins add up. That explanation feels right. It is also mostly wrong. Back in the 1950s, the man who transformed McDonald's finances, Harry Sonneborn, told a room full of investors something that sounded almost absurd. He said McDonald's was not really in the hamburger business. It was in the real estate business. The burgers, he explained, were simply what paid the rent. That one sentence unlocks the entire company. Here's the first piece of the puzzle. Around 95% of McDonald's restaurants are not owned by McDonald's at all. They're operated by franchisees, independent business owners who pay to use the McDonald's name, its operating system, and its menu. So when you buy a Big Mac, you're usually not buying it from the corporation. You're buying it from a small business owner running the McDonald's machine. And that machine isn't free. A franchisee pays McDonald's in two major ways. First, a royalty, a percentage of every sale. Second, rent for the building itself. Most people assume the royalty is the important part. It isn't. The rent is where the real money lives.
Here's where it gets brilliant. Before a franchisee even flips their first burger, McDonald's has usually secured the location itself, either by buying the land or locking in a long-term lease. Then it rents that property to the franchisee, often charging more than it pays or taking a percentage of the restaurant's sales. In other words, McDonald's isn't just your brand, it's your landlord. Think about what that means. The franchisee handles the difficult part, hiring employees, buying ingredients, dealing with rising costs, working long hours, and absorbing the losses if business slows down. Meanwhile, McDonald's collects rent. And rent is beautiful. It's predictable. It arrives every single month. It often grows over time as sales increase. And it doesn't really care if beef prices suddenly spike. The operator manages the chaos of running a restaurant, while McDonald's quietly earns steady, compounding income. Now imagine repeating that, not hundreds of times, but tens of thousands of times across the world's busiest streets and intersections. Quietly, McDonald's has built one of the most valuable real estate portfolios on Earth. A huge portion of what the company owns isn't fryers or freezers, it's land and buildings. The Golden Arches are, in a very real sense, a property empire wearing a paper hat. So where do the burgers fit into all of this? This is the elegant part. The food, the branding, the advertising, the value meals, all of it exists to bring people to those locations over and over again, year after year. Every car that enters the drive-thru proves that corner of real estate is valuable. The burgers don't have to be the most profitable product. They just need to keep customers coming, because the food sells the real estate. And this is why calling it a trick would completely miss the point. McDonald's is obsessed with speed, consistency, and affordability for a reason. Bad restaurants drive customers away. Fewer customers mean weaker sales. Weaker sales mean weaker rents. The food business and the real estate business aren't competing with each other. They're two parts of the same machine, and each one depends on the other. Step back for a moment, and McDonald's teaches a lesson that goes far beyond burgers and fries. The thing a company sells you isn't always the thing that makes it rich. The visible product is often just the doorway to a much quieter, much more powerful business underneath. So the next time you look at a company, don't just ask, what do they sell? Ask instead, what do they own that keeps paying them long after the sale?
So the next time you pull into a McDonald's, look past the fries and look past the famous golden arches. You're not just standing inside a restaurant. You're standing on one of the smartest real estate strategies in business history that just happens to serve lunch. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden business model behind McDonald's, subscribe to Moneyverse, because every week we break down the fascinating strategies behind the world's biggest companies and show you how they really make their money.